if cat command is being executed, then we can use some small trick, end this cat command and execute our own command. Who am I? And this command executed right here. Let's go up and ASDF semicolon, let's say shell. Okay, so let's try this. So looks like we got a shell. Okay, so how cool is that? Who am I? Root. Hey amazing hackers, I'm TORHAT from HM Cyber Academy. Today we'll be looking at Oopsie box from tier 2 of starting point of HackTheBox. So let's get started. First of all, you connect the VPN. I have already done it. Next you spawn the machine and this is its IP address. So let's copy it and update my IP and target IP. Sudo nano zshell rc. This is the target IP, and to know my IP, if config turn 0, I got my IP, paste it, and once we find the domain and subdomain, we will update these fields as well. As of now, just close it and type zshell. Okay, that would update the shell. And if you type echo $myip, you would get my IP, echo $IP, you would get target IP. Okay, so usually the next step is nmap. Okay, once we run the scan, immediately we can see that 2 ports are open, and as you can see, port 80 is HTTP. So let's copy, paste it over here. Okay, so it gives us a web page. Okay, cool. Let's go back to HackTheBox. With what kind of tool can intercept web traffic? So what do we call something that intercepts a web traffic? So this intercepts the web traffic, right? So we call it a proxy. Burp suit also intercepts the web traffic. Okay, so we call it a proxy. Okay, proxy, send it. What is the path to the directory on the web server that returns a login page? Okay, so we haven't seen the login page, so let's go back to the website. Do you see any login page? I don't see. I just see hashtags over here. I don't see anything else, so I just have to scroll down on each one. Okay, we see a number and an email. So this email has megacorp.com. Okay, so this can be the domain. Okay, so let's go back and update the domain. Sudo nano zshell rc, update the domain xyz, and also use zshell. Now we get the domain. So to update the domain in etc host file, we use printf command, right? Printf command \n and this command. etc host file is updated. So now you can go to the browser, and if you use megacorp.com, okay, it works. Let's check the source code. Okay, I don't see anything right here. All these are standard directories. This is all CSS. So I see CDN, CGI, which would probably say about content delivery networks. We'll explore that later. So this seems to be JavaScript. Looks like a CDN CGI login script.js. This can be some login script. So let's copy this. Let's paste it over here and let's run it. So we don't see anything right here. Okay, so probably the script doesn't exist, or it's just running the script. So we'll remove this script.js and see what happens. Okay, so it gives us a login page. Okay, cool. Let's go back to HackTheBox. So what is the path that redirects to web server and returns a login page? So this is the path. Okay, CDN CGI login. Okay, so let's submit it. Okay, so that's interesting, right? So the thing is, if you just remove this, you see that it only accepts /login. Okay, there is no / at the end. So let's paste it and remove this / and submit it. Okay, so now the flag is accepted. Cool. Okay, let's go back. Let's try to log in with random characters and see what happens. Okay, so it does not reply us with anything. Let's use some popular names like admin. It does not allow us in, and we don't have a proper word list as well. So what you can do is try to click on this login as guest, and this would let us in. Okay, let's browse through these things. Okay, it's nothing. So it seems to be an upload page. Okay, so you cannot upload anything until you have super admin rights. Okay, so let's click on clients. Okay, there's some client. Okay, and the URL also changed. And let's click on branding. Okay, there's branding, and you still see this ID equals to 2. Okay, cool. Okay, so for this account as well, you see account ID equals to 2. Interesting. Okay, so there is access ID 2233 as well. So let's open cookies. So I see two cookies. One is role is guest and user equals to 2223. Interesting. So you can also see that cookies from storage, and if you just zoom in, you can see the cookies here as well, right? What if I change this ID? What will happen? So let's change this ID to 0. Okay, I get nothing. If I change this to 1, okay, I get admin access ID, admin email. So what if I change this access ID with the cookie that we have? So what's gonna happen? I don't know. Let's reload. Okay, the cookies have not changed. It is still admin cookie, but with this admin cookie, can we access this uploads page? Okay, looks like we can access this upload page with admin. Okay, so previously it said that we have to have super admin rights. Okay, but that seems to be not the case. So if you want to access super admin, so let's click on this accounts. Let's go to Burp Suite and go to HTTP history. And as you can see, this is the ID equals to 2. And let's send it to intruder. Okay, and clear everything and select this ID equals to 2 and add it. Let's go to payloads. Let's select numbers and select from 0 to let's say 50 and go to settings. And if you just scroll down, you can see grep match. So let's clear everything and say super. Okay, because we're looking for super admin. Okay, so if you type admin, there are admins and super admins, so that would be confusing. So use super. Okay, so let's add it and start the attack. Okay, I can see that payload 30 is a super admin. Okay, let's click on this and check the response. Let's open this in browser, copy it, let's close it and send it. Okay, so looks like ID equals to 30 is super admin. Okay, so this is how you can access super admin, but actually we can access uploads page using normal admin cookies as well. Okay, so hope that's clear. So let's close this. What file do we upload and how to access that file? Okay, so we can upload some reverse shell files and we don't know which page we can access it. So for that, let's run a directory buster with go buster. Let's say go buster and everything's ready right here, and remove this and say $domain and everything is set. So let's send it. Okay, so it opens index.php, which means we can run PHP files. So let's open a new terminal and locate PHP reverse shell. Okay, so we have this PHP reverse shell, copy this and send copy reverse shell to reverse shell, and now we have that reverse shell to us. Okay, so we can open this reverse shell right here. We don't need all of this comments, so just remove it and change this to my IP. So what is my IP? Echo $my IP. So control C, control V, and keep this as port 8888. Okay, so let's close this. Let's go to admin panel and browse this reverse shell. Okay, so click on upload. The file revshell.php has been uploaded. Okay, so it doesn't say where it has been uploaded, so we need to find that directory or location. So let's go back to directory buster, and did we find anything that's related to this? Okay, So let's close this, and I can see that slash uploads directory is giving us 301. Okay, so let's try to access that and say slash uploads. Okay, so it's giving us a forbidden, you don't have permission to access this resource. Okay, so this directory might contain this file which we have uploaded. Okay, so we cannot access the list of contents in this directory. We know that PHP reverse shell exists over here. So let's try to access it directly and see what happens. Okay, so it says warning, fail to demonize. This is quite common but not fatal. Connection refused. Okay, so something has happened if I use this. Okay, looks like PHP reverse shell actually executed. Okay, so to confirm that, let's close this and let's use netcat and LVP 8888, and let's go here and reload. We got a shell, and if you see the ID, it is www data, and if I type who am I, www data. Okay, cool. Once we reach this stage, let's get a stable shell. Let's go here, standards, post foothold, Python 3. First of all, we'll check which Python 3. Okay, Python 3 exists. So let's paste this and use Control Z and then stt raw echo fg. And if you hit enter again, and if you just export term equals to extern, so now we get a stable shell. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to HackTheBox. What can be modified in Firefox to access the upload page? So what did we change? We changed the cookie, right? So if you just go here, just select the cookie. The cookie is admin cookie. Okay, so we changed the admin cookie to access the upload page. Okay, what is the access ID of admin user? So if you just go to this cookies again, storage, just zoom it, and this is the admin access ID. So let's paste it over here and send it. So on uploading a file, what directory does the file appear on the server? So it was slash uploads, and send it. What is the file that contains the password that is shared with Robert user? So let's go back to terminal and try to grep. This will search for occurrence of password in every directory in this Linux server. Okay, starting from root. So let's see how many occurrences we get. Okay, we're getting so many. So let's close this. Let's try to search in some locations that we already know. Okay, so the web server is located in /var/www/html. So we know that the web server is hosted right here. Okay, so we'll check first in web server, and then if we cannot find it, we'll go to other locations. Okay, so let's hit enter. Okay, so many times. So let's look for Robert. Okay, Robert. Okay, so it's only one time the Robert user has been shown. Okay, so the password is megacorp user ! Okay, and the file is db.php. Okay, so let's copy this and go back to tryhackme and paste it over here, submit. Bot executable is run with the option group bug tracker to identify all files owned by the bug tracker group. So first of all, I am www data, right? So I can use this megacorp user and Robert to log into Robert user, I guess. Okay, so let's copy, go to Oopsie and say Robert and this. Let's go to nmap scan. Looks like we haven't copied the nmap scan results. Control C. Okay, so we have SSH and we have HTTP and we have Linux. Okay, cool. So we have SSH, right? So let's use Robert and megacorp user to log into SSH. Okay, so SSH. Okay, not here. So let's open a new terminal, maximize, and say SSH Robert at megacorp.com. Okay, it's asking to save fingerprint. Say yes and paste the password and we're in. If I type ID, I can see that this Robert user has user ID 1000, group ID 1000, and he is part of Robert group and bug tracker group. Interesting. Let's use this information and see which files can bug tracker access. Okay, to use that you have to say find /, which means you're searching all the directories, and you say group and bug tracker, and you can also add type file, and any errors send it to /dev/null. Okay, so let's send it. So it gave us only one file. Interesting. So this file can be executed by bug tracker group, which means Robert can execute it because he is part of bug tracker. And when he runs this file, he will be running this file as root because of the setuid permissions. Okay, and you can also see that others can read this file. Okay, so let's run the file directly, and it's asking to provide bug ID. Okay, so let's give some random characters. Cat this, no such file or directory. Okay, so if I try to use cat along with this, permission denied, but what if I try to access something from the local directory? So let's say cat pwd and asdf. When I try to access some unknown file, it just replies with asdf, no such file or directory. Okay, and as you can see, the same reply is shown right here. So the program is trying to access this file and there is no such file. So if cat command is being executed, then we can use some small trick and end this cat command and execute our own command. Okay, so let's say who am I, and as you can see, this command executed right here and this command executed right here. Okay, so let's try the same thing with the bug tracker. Okay, so let's paste it, let's hit enter, let's say asdf and who am I. So it says root. Okay, which means whatever command we're trying to execute right here, we are executing it as root. And we also know that the root flag exists in the root directory, right? If whatever we give goes into this directory, and we know that we need to access this file root.txt, so what we can do is we can give this .. and root.txt. Okay, so what this will do is .. will go to previous directory, and then in this root directory it will try to fetch root.txt. Okay, let's copy this, let's go up, paste this, and let's see what happens. Okay, we got the root flag. Let's go back to HackTheBox. What is the command that we execute with group bug tracker? It was find command. Okay, so let's send it. Regardless of which user starts running the bug tracker executable, what user privilege will use to run, whichever user is running, it doesn't matter. We are running it as root. Okay, so it is root user. Submit. So what is SUID stand for? So looks like setuid is not set user ID. Okay, so it is set owner user ID. Okay, so let's copy this, let's paste it over here and send it. What is the name of the executable being called in insecure manner? So if you go back, so what was the executable that was running this? It was cat command. Okay, so cat command was trying to run this. Cat submitted. What is the user flag? So let's say ls cat user.txt, copy, paste, submit. Okay, what is the root flag? Control C, Control V, and before I submit, I just want to show you we can get a shell from here. Let's go up and ASDF semicolon, let's say shell. Okay, so this should execute a shell and it should give us a shell. Okay, so let's try this. So looks like we got a shell. Okay, so how cool is that? Who am I? Root. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.